The Northwest Justice Project is a statewide law firm that provides free legal assistance to low-income individuals. We work to challenge structural and racial inequity to promote long-term well-being for low-income individuals, families, and communities across Washington state.
Native American women are assaulted 2 to 3 times more frequently than women of other races. Native American victims are most frequently assaulted or harmed by non-Native perpetrators. Kalaya's story illustrates this phenomenon, and when she tries to obtain justice, is unable to get the relief that she's seeking.
My name is Kalaya Volmar. I am a member of the Colville Confederated Tribes. In my relationship with my ex, I think it was almost 4 years that we were together. I thought that he was the nicest, sweetest person in the whole wide world. Within a couple months, when I was under his roof, we did things when he wanted to do things. You wanted to go to the reservation and see your family? You're not allowed to. You want to go see these friends, or you want these friends to come here? They can't come here. Every job that I tried to have, he's like, you're not going to go work there. If I tried to stand up for myself, I just got called a lot of names. He continued on with the alcoholism. That's when everything first started getting violent and physical, is I said no, and then next thing you know, you're kind of getting hit and you're getting forced down. When our son was born, I literally would listen to anything that he told me to do because I was scared of losing my son. In order for me to get out of the relationship, I had to admit myself into a mental health hospital. December 26th, 2019 was the last day that I got to see my son for over 6.5 months. So I went from seeing him every single day of his life to completely being out of the picture. The hospital helped me create a safety plan and make sure I could go and get my son out of that household. In the tribal court, I got approved a immediate restraining order, an immediate emergency temporary custody order, and apparently I did not do it right. I didn't understand the legal systems. Once I did get the papers officially figured out and jurisdiction transferred over, what had happened was he got his papers, he served me first, and so I wasn't allowed to serve him with my papers at that point. I had lost.
In Kalaya's story, she experienced the barriers that can exist when a Native American person is trying to seek legal help. And there are complexities of federal, tribal, and state jurisdiction at play that we refer to as the maze of injustice.
Kalaya was trying to advocate for herself and navigate this challenging system on her own. Her child's father had an attorney. He got a restraining order against her. He got sole custody. He got sole decision making. She was basically cut out of her child's life.
I realized I needed an actual attorney. My mom explained that to me. I was like, I can't afford an attorney. My friend drove me to the YWCA, where I actually ended up finding out that the Northwest Justice Project was a thing. I got a call from them. We have you an attorney. It was extremely emotional because I didn't think that anybody would actually be willing to help.
We have worked together for over 2 years now. After about 6 months, we were able to get visits started again. They had to be supervised. We were able to work with Kalaya's medical providers and provide documentation that the accusations that her abuser were making about her mental health, alleged drug history, and all of these things that he were throwing out there as facts were actually not true, so that she eventually didn't need to have supervision.
My attorney from the Northwest Justice Project, Christina Rawls, when you actually have somebody of her standing reassuring you and telling you that things are going to be okay and that she has it taken care of, you have an entire weight off your shoulders. I got my son back and we're almost at 50-50 custody, and I couldn't be happier.
While her abuser was accusing her of all of these things, the reality was Kalaya was being isolated, she was being abused, she was being manipulated into thinking that she had no worth.
I feel like I've definitely changed a lot. When I first left the relationship, I was terrified to go to the grocery store. Going from that person to actually being able to share my story with a lot of the MMIW nonprofits and explain to other young women that you can get out of these kind of relationships, you can get justice.
At NJP, we work with other tribal organizations and domestic violence organizations to try to have more systemic and comprehensive solutions for domestic violence survivors and missing and murdered Indigenous people in Native communities. We're really trying to work in concert with those communities.